Hey, so I'm doing a double header today. I'm filming another video. This one's around the full moon in Aries, and of course, in traditional big energy Aries archetype, the moon's going to be a super moon this coming Monday, October 6th. I think it's around like 8:45 or 8:47 is the lunation specifically, but it's a pretty big full moon in that it's asking you, how are you creating new pathways and showing up for yourself? Now, it's a big full moon in the way, not just being a super moon. And yes, I will be on top of a mountain looking at that moon come up because it's going to be fucking spectacular. I'll probably go back to Craggy. But in this lunation, it's a culmination of a lot of things. And I'll kind of break it down by men and women and how it's going to manifest. Now, in the past, I would say 8 to 9 months, as women, I have seen several themes popping up. A lot of women are taking the steps to spiritually evolve. They are healing their trauma around relationship. They're healing their parental wounds. They are healing their significant religious trauma. They're healing their patterns and behaviors around any ecosystem or establishment that was set up to show them that they are powerless, that they are insignificant, that they are invisible. And so a lot of times when you go through the capital W work, and that is shadow work, therapy, building your intuition so that you evolve past your body, soul, brain, going up to your higher self, and that is doing divination, meditation, active visualization. They're doing the work to make that evolution happen. And here's what happens depending on what age bracket you're in, right? A lot of my feminines who are, I would say, in the age bracket between 42 and 65 are in this massive evolution where they are spiritually growing and they're in ascension, but the partners that they are with, whether they're nice dudes or not, or nice women or not, are not in ascension with them. And they're realizing that they are actually moving forward spiritually beyond their partner, and that it's no longer a good fit. And so they're like reevaluating their partnerships. A lot of people between, I'd say, 28 and 42 are looking at their friendships right now and their careers. A lot of people are like, my career doesn't make sense. I'm not working 80 to 100 hours a week just so I could do blah 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 bullshit, right? I was there 3 years ago when I left television, working in a system that was pumping out crap, to be honest with you. I hate to say that, but was just like forwarding a narrative that didn't really apply to all of us. I just couldn't be a part of that anymore, and I didn't care, and the paychecks weren't worth it. And so, there's a lot of people in that evolution where they're like, my career is not worth it. Life is short. What do I really want to be doing? And they're also looking at their friendships. A lot of people, in their sobriety, in their spiritual evolution, in their intuitive journeys, are realizing that friendships, they've been holding on to people that no longer resonate with them, and they're letting go with love. They're not just ghosting people and being like, oh, you suck, like I'm not with you anymore. They're there. And then the third thing I've noticed, and this is from people, I would say clients, from my youngest clients about is 12, but I'm seeing it from 12 to probably 28, is a group of people that are looking at their families and seeing that there is a profound amount of toxicity, and they're almost like doing the spiritual work to get ahead of the narratives and stories that may be toxic that will hold them back later on in life. It's really a powerful time, and it's really inspiring. And so in the past 9 months, I've seen women evolving in that way. And if that resonates to you in any capacity, know that you're on the right track. Now, you holding boundaries around it is something that you should have learned between, I would say, June and August. And this month's lunation on Monday is all about what, in that void of energy that you have, that you've carved out in your life in healthy ways. There's always that void of energy that used to be taken up by drama and toxic behavior and toxic friends and relationships and lack of boundaries with family, and your partner not meeting you in every energy. There's a void of energy. So that Aries full moon is asking you, what the fuck are you going to do about it? How are you going to fill that void with some like amazing kick-ass shit that's like really healthy and reflective of all the work that you've done, right? How are you going to go play about it? Play is the big thing. And then with men, with masculines, what I've seen in on the stage of that with my clients and also with my friend group is they're not so much in this like the end of the chrysalis like women are. They're almost like in still the caterpillar stage. But what they're seeing is, if they are in a healthy space, and a compassionate one, they're looking at world events and they're saying, holy shit, how have I contributed to this paradigm, right? And holy shit, if they also catch me at that questionable stage, because I've got a lot to say about it, about the patriarchy. But they're almost looking at, the patriarchy doesn't just take away the power of women, it also sets men up to be a really toxic stereotype. I'm seeing a lot of men coming into their humanity, empathy, and compassion, and they're evaluating their life and saying, I don't want to be a part of this paradigm. How do I look in an honest way on how I've contributed to that lack of empowerment from everyone else but me, right? To keep people like me in power. How do I dismantle the systems that I'm currently in? And then at that point, how do I start my spiritual evolution? How do I therapize how I've been conditioned? And so that part is extremely empowering. And so with a lot of masculines coming into this full moon in Aries, you're going to be asking yourself, what's my first step in towards healing? Where do I go from there? What is the work that I need to do if you're not already in therapy, or if you're already not doing shadow work, or if you're spiritually in your evolution, you're at the very beginning of it. And also, I will say this to a lot of masculines who are losing their loved ones, losing their partners due to their own personal spiritual evolution, I think it's almost a wake-up call for you to step up and to step into something bigger, to step into something more proactive instead of reactive. Women and feminines, and not just saying women by birth, but like feminines, we're not built to be in service of you at this point. A lot of us were taught that, but we're not built to like help you evolve in your humanity. Like that's something for you to do, that's your work. And so I feel like a lot of masculines are waking up to that reality that, wow, like I just lost this really amazing thing that I was holding on to. Maybe a part of it was codependency or like a love development. Meaning that like they found someone who they wanted to aspire to be, but they couldn't quite match, right? If you're in that evolution, this is your opportunity on Monday to step into that archetype. Who do you want to be coming out of this? You certainly don't want to be mad, bitter, or angry that like your loved one, your partner, your family, your friend group is evolving beyond you. It's an opportunity for you to step up and say, what is it that I need to realize that, I've been lacking this entire time? How do I come into that in an honest way? To be honest with you, kind of just breaking it down and leaving it here, the Aries full moon is an opportunity. It is like a chance for you to look at where, like how far you've come in your spiritual growth in the past 9 months specifically. And it's asking you what's next. Like how more can I fill that void of energy with really, really good things that I've cleared the path for, right? And maybe you don't have anything that you add to it. Maybe you take a break on this full moon, this lunation, and you cruise for the next 2 weeks. I feel like the new moon after that is in Libra, so that's like a little bit kinder. It's a little bit more of like, okay, let me take baby steps more towards my growth. But the full moon is all about the culmination of something huge, and it's almost like, again, like, how are you going to be creating new habits, patterns, cycles around this evolution that you've worked so hard to achieve? And so that's where I'm going to leave it. This is a beautiful full moon. I want you to take advantage of actually going to see her at a vantage point somewhere around wherever you live. See when she comes up, because it's going to be one of those crazy, like, I don't think it's going to be red, but maybe a little orange, but just one of those crazy, beautiful lunations, first of all. But it's an opportunity for you to step towards a higher version of yourself.